4 years ago, I created a thunderstorm paludarium with a rainfall effect, which sparked my curiosity and led me to experiment further with a similar system for my biotope aquarium. Today, I'm excited to take this concept to the next level by building a nano version for my Amazon shallow aquarium. Let's dive in and get started. The first step was to refine the rainfall system. My goal was to create a gentle raindrop effect rather than a heavy downpour. To achieve this, I used a small nano pump paired with some airline tubing. To create the raindrop effect, I carefully pierced small holes in the tubing using a craft knife. Since the tubing was made of rubber, it allowed the water to drip slowly rather than flow out rapidly. Next, I moved on to the substrate. For the base layer, I used peat moss, which is rich in nutrients to help kickstart the ecosystem. After pre-mixing the peat with water, I added it to the aquarium. Unfortunately, I forgot to fully drain the tank beforehand, which caused the moss to separate and float. Despite the setback, I managed to make it work. After adding the peat moss, I capped it off with a layer of aquarium-safe play sand to hold the moss in place. This also gives the aquarium a natural riverbed-like appearance, similar to what you'd find in the wild. Since the aquarium is relatively small, I opted for a thinner sand layer than usual. Next, I aimed to create a striking focal point that would not only make the aquarium visually pop, but also seamlessly blend the elements of the riverbank with the water. To achieve this, I chose a large piece of rootwood, one of my favourite pieces in my collection. Its intricate structure and natural beauty made it the perfect centerpiece for the design. I knew it would enhance the overall aesthetic and tie together with various elements of the environment. To enhance the natural feel of the aquarium, I added additional pieces of wood to mimic the appearance of a riverbed with interwoven tree roots. This not only contributed to the depth of the scene, highlighting foreground elements, but also enriched the overall riverbed aesthetic. I introduced a large pod, creating an intriguing focal point that draws the eye. Java moss was then added to fill in the gaps and give the wood that natural feel. Next, I filled the aquarium with water. Thankfully, my shed is conveniently located next to a hose pipe, which made the task much faster and more efficient. Next up, I added a small hang-on filter to give a bit more mechanical filtration and help with that surface movement. I then added a variety of plants to achieve the natural look I envisaged, including hornwort, java fern, and one of my favourites, jungle vallisneria. The one thing I love about Salvinia is not only does it absorb nutrients out of the water column, but it also gives fish that layer of protection that they would have in the wild from predators. I have to admit, it's looking pretty cool so far, but we're not done yet. In my vision, this particular build was destined for a spot in my conservatory, which has since evolved into a space serving as both a playroom for my kids and a home office. I wanted to bring a touch of nature into this area, blending the outdoors with my daily life. To ensure the aquarium seamlessly blended with the natural surroundings, I added a selection of houseplants to integrate the overall look and design. I must say the result exceeded expectations and looked even better than I'd imagined. Finally, I wanted to bring an extra layer of authenticity to the setup, so I boiled some smaller nano leaves and cones to prepare them for the aquarium. I placed these botanicals both under the water and on the surface, as well as around the wood. This arrangement mimics the natural process where leaves and cones fall from the trees into the water, creating a more realistic and immersive environment. The added botanicals not only enhance the visual appeal, but also contribute to a more natural and dynamic aquatic habitat. Overall, I'm thrilled with how the aquarium turned out, and I can't wait to introduce some aquatic life to the setup soon. I truly enjoy incorporating unique and distinct developments into my aquariums, bringing a touch of nature to the home. If you're interested in learning more about how I created the Rainfall system, be sure to check out the video on screen. I'm always eager to explore new ideas, so if you have any suggestions for elements to add next, please share them in the comments below.